The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football?
Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLO in Lincoln, and WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good afternoon, everybody. What might not have it yet. Let's see. Hey, I got audio. Was that me or you?
You.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Joxx Sports Podcast. Today we'll be talking about whatever sports are happening in the world. Baseball's not quite started up yet, but it has for some of our local schools, and it's football season for high school in the area, but college and professional are just doing their thing right now. College-wise, we're seeing how the recruiting classes are going to be figuring each other out. Professional-wise, we're seeing if there's going to be any trades at any time soon. NBA is going on. All-Star weekend just happened. All-Star game just happened yesterday. Raise your hand in the room if you actually watched the All-Star game. I know I'm not raising my hand, but I don't think anybody else did raise their hand. Exactly. That was me. I didn't know it was on. I thought it was maybe Saturday or Friday. I didn't know when they were playing the All-Star game. Needless to say, I definitely did not watch the game. Final score, fun fact, 170-151. Wow, I missed a barn burner, didn't I?
It's a regular season score.
Possibly. It's close to a regular season
season
score.
score.
Nah, that's the All-Star game score. Team LeBron won. Like I said, I didn't watch any of the three-point contest or the dunk contest yesterday. It's just that All-Star weekend is, I mean, it's probably cool as a spectacle to go to just when it's a weekend as a whole. I know you went a few years ago when it was here in Charlotte, but outside of that, just like me, spectator-wise, I don't want to see nobody really not try.
Well, if you're gonna play, you're right. If you're gonna play a game, two things, you gotta have somebody to pull for most of the time. Even if you don't have someone to pull for, a lot of people like pulling against someone. So, like, what affiliation do you have to Team LeBron or Team Durant or whatever it is? Even if they want to do that format, I've got the way to fix it, is give everybody on the winning team $1 million or $500,000. We'll see that it'll change real quick, right?
They'll have something
especially
a little bit to
in
play
football,
for.
too. I do the same thing. If I do the same thing in all of them, why does the winning team not getting, like, $1 million? You telling me, let's think about this, 12 people. NBA don't got $12 million they can just give away.
Oh God, you know they have that.
I mean,
they would make that alone off of ticket sales if people could have came to the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
So like, yeah, let's pay them all. The winners $1 million, losers get nothing. Don't give them half of that.
No,
then they'll be like, well, I can still get out of here with that. No. Win or all. It's what the NASCAR All-Star race is. There's a reason that's probably one of the most exciting races of the year.
Yeah.
Like the Coca-Cola 600 and the Bank of America 500 were never as close as the All-Star race was. But that $1 million on the line, it changes it. So I think they should make the money. If I was in charge of it, Hunter, I would have East-West, and then I would have winners get $1 million because
they
170 to 150. Like
they have to
watch?
do something. They have to do something because obviously, me being a sports fan, you being a sports fan, it's bad whenever you don't even want to watch a sport.
Well, here's
the
product
product that the NBA is putting on the TV. I have no, and the same thing with the NFL and the Pro Bowl. I just have no desire to see that at all.
The players, the way they've acted this year with the All-Star game and the fans in the last year, I mean, if this was baseball, we would be talking about whether or not baseball players, fans, the game has killed the game and lost all their fans. Because right now you've got your highlights and your tweet, your likes and stuff, and that's how they're measuring stuff. But the TV ratings are down. People aren't watching games. You talked about this with the Cube and everything.
Yeah.
And if that's where they think if they can sell put it this way, they just want to make money.
Yeah.
If they can have an advertiser say 3 million likes is the same thing as 3 million views, then they don't care.
Which, at the same time, which the advertiser is kind of correct there.
Right. Either way, but my point is that the players then, when you talk about people getting paid too much, I don't know if the stars will ever get paid too much, but the young guys, I talk about the bench guys making $10 million a year. So when you get to, let's say, as far as the NBA goes, so the past year, and they say, well, we don't even want to play in the All-Star game. We want some time off.
Right.
That's what some of the guys are saying. And people are defending them. Like, they need time off. From what? You play, what, twice a week? 3 times sometimes. Okay. How hard are your practices?
Well, at least basketball-wise.
Like,
I know your practice probably can't be nearly as hard as a football practice.
Like, and think about it. They're like, well, we got 2 months off is all. But, like, think about the divide in this country. We have teachers who pretty much work the same schedule as basketball players.
And then pick up a second job in the off-season.
$30,000 to $50,000 a year. And as a fan, if I'm a teacher, do I want to hear a millionaire saying, I want a day off. I don't want to show up to this basketball game. The one game a year, Hunter, where the fans are supposed to say, well, I can watch this guy, or I can watch this. I don't never get to watch Zach LaVine. But my God, how many people could you walk down the street and say, there's a guy in Chicago right now that jumps higher and dunks better than anybody in the NBA. He's averaging 27 points a game. What's his name?
They wouldn't know.
27 a game.
Are you talking about Michael Jordan?
Right. So like, if I'm not seeing him play then, or if I'm not seeing a Charlotte Hornet play at any time and not making All-Star teams, how would anybody ever know who?
Yeah, well, this is your opportunity a lot of the times to see stars from the smaller markets actually get to play. Think about it. If Giannis wasn't such a 2-time MVP, a defensive player of the year, and the athletic freak that he is, really Milwaukee, think about how they did them last year when it came to the playoffs in the bubble and what time they'd play in the bubble. Like, they're never really prime time. It's never really a prime time game for Milwaukee. Same thing goes for how you said LaVine in Chicago.
Some durable headphones, by the way.
Yeah, durable headphones.
They got Gronk spiked a few minutes ago.
And then who else? Let's just say, who made it from? Didn't Orlando have somebody? Well, here, I'll just tell you what. Bradley Beal. I know he plays in Washington. Vucevic was part of, I think, the skills challenge. Okay. But even still, you got a guy that's almost 7 foot tall being able to do that kind of stuff with a basketball, and he's in the skill challenge. The only way you see him is in the All-Star game, the All-Star weekend. Bradley Beal. If people didn't talk about,
shouldn't play the All-Star.
Right. If Bradley Beal, if people didn't talk about, he's the only guy that's lost 11 games when scoring 40 points, you probably never really get to see him play because the Wizards are ass.
Wizards game.
Exactly.
Who's turning in to see Wizards and Hornets? But
nobody. I mean, I would, but that's only if you're a fan. But think about it.
The Mellosexuals are.
Think about it. But you don't even get to because they're only being played on specific channels.
Yeah.
You like Fox
You
Sports
can't watch
South.
as a Hornets fan.
No, you can't.
How do we watch the Hornets games?
Do you
think we should propose to the Hornets to do their games for them?
Fuck it, why not?
I mean,
it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. Well, we noticed no one else is doing it. Y'all want to just do it on YouTube?
You guys are on Fox Sports, what, Southeast? What? I didn't even know that was a channel. I know what Fox Sports South is, but they play Braves games over your games.
Well, that's the thing when you buy that tier or however they do
But
it.
it's a paywall to even get that. Exactly. Like they're not I'm sorry, they're not showing you on ESPN just, every other night.
No.
I don't want to pay for NBA Game Pass or whatever that is.
Why is an NBA team even having to worry about a TV deal or that's insane to me. Like, why aren't they streaming their own? Like, why
the Hornets don't have like their own streaming
Mark
platform?
Cuban's speciality to begin with was streaming video.
Yeah, it was something like he did software
That's how he got
stuff
rich
when
off.
he got, yeah.
So why again? Every NBA team, to me, Hunter, if I'm running the NBA, every team would have their own streaming channel on their own website that they already have. All you gotta do is go to that website and watch it. And then when you have national TV things, you just sell the rights to them. I don't know. It's not good for the fans.
They don't think about it because they've already got Game Pass, NBA Game Pass. It's just like Red Zone, except you can watch every game in the NBA that's playing that night. That's just how it is. You can, but again, that's a paywall, which I get. I mean, they want to make their money, but still, at the same time, I'm surprised there are Hornets fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't just take your... Same thing with me being a Wizards fan. I'm surprised we have new Wizards fans. I'm surprised that there are younger Orlando Magic and Atlanta Hawk fans. The teams that aren't shown on television why would you be a fan of them? All you ever see are the LA teams, the New York teams. I mean, and maybe once or twice wherever a superstar is at. The Dallas and the Houston, the Texas teams.
And for people not around here, what we're talking about is local... the Nuggets have had trouble getting their games televised.
And they're good.
They're a good team.
They're like a good team in the West.
huge ass city. That's one of the biggest airport in America about. And we're talking about hey, can somebody put us on TV? I don't know.
If you're not making the playoffs, you're not getting on television, it seems like, hardly at any points. What was it? At one time, I think there was a certain team that had no primetime games. None.
Sure
in the NBA. It might have been Charlotte. It might have been Charlotte. Because at least Atlanta can try and sell Trae Young. He's the young guy shooting a bunch of threes, yada, yada, yada. They at least have a guy that they can market and push on the younger crowd to try and get them to be fans. But seriously, if you're not going... And think about it. Why would anybody that's wanting to get into the NBA this year be a fan? I don't get to go to the games, so I don't get to watch the local team because they're not on television.
I want to change the three-point contest, too.
What do you want to do to the three-point contest?
I need more options.
Yes. Than just where you want the Sprite rack or whatever it is.
Yes. I'd take out the corners.
And just 4-point.
Put two 30-footers.
Why not?
Shoot you three around.
Did you see Damian Lillard? Oh, well, let's say there's a highlight from the game.
What about even a catch-and-shoot three-point contest where you move to the spot and you have someone pass it to you?
Right. Well, I was about to say, you make a good point with 30-point shots. In the game, there was a back-to-back sequence because Damian Lillard and Steph Curry were on the same team. When I tell you Damian Lillard literally did a pull-up three from the half-court line and drained it. I mean, he did. And then Steph Curry took 2 steps over the half-court line on their next possession and drained it. It's why would you not just put a 30-point shot up
a little
there?
bit different, right?
And you know what?
Put
a 4-point shot. Make it 4
money
points,
ball's
whatever.
worth 2 anyway.
Yeah, or just make it a genuine
That's all
three.
money balls.
Make it a genuine three.
From 30 feet. I want them on the wings, too. But I do like an idea of a pass and catch spot. Because,
they can choose wherever their best pass and catch spot is, I guess.
Yeah, or no, even I'm talking about a round.
It's just pass and catch.
Yeah. You move, they put
you
stickers
could,
on the floor.
And think about it.
And each spot's worth a certain number of points.
And not only that,
boom,
you could make it a team event then. They have to choose who their passing partner is.
Oh, yeah. You don't want it to be a regular ball boy.
No. God, no. He's not going to know where to put it.
Right. So it's just weird because I've shot in a 3-point contest and picking a ball off the rack on your side, the ball's never here, in a game. So, you got to pick a ball up to your side or left or right. That's the one thing. You got to figure out which one you're more comfortable with. Because
you got to stand on that side.
And then turn the ball and then shoot, or some people, right-handers, will get it and just go in one motion and shoot that. I'm better going to my left and shooting. So, if I'm shooting, I get my shoulder square more if I get one dribble or something to my left to get my shoulders back. If I just straight pull this way, I don't feel comfortable in the fact that I'm going to be as accurate and or as soft. I'm going to shoot it harder that way. So there's so many mechanical things to, Steph won. Everybody agrees he's the best shooter, but just the whole this rack, all in the exact same spots. What's good about it? You can compare it to Larry Bird in the day.
You're right. Yeah.
That's the one.
He had a killer round.
That's the one thing.
He had that killer round where I think he had to have 22 and he ended up putting 31 up.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, I have no question and doubt that he might be the greatest shooter of all time, but, like, that's ridiculous. He literally was like, oh, I only need 22. Well, let me almost put up an extra 10 just to prove to you that, hey, don't ever question me, all right? I am Steph Curry. But like I said, I mean, I didn't watch. I didn't even know. I'm going to be honest. I checked to see who the winner of the NASCAR race was before I even did what was happening in the NBA All-Star Game. Because it's the same argument that I have with guys over why I watch postseason baseball when they're on normal schedules, why I watch postseason baseball before a regular season basketball game. It's like that game meant nothing. It meant nothing. But that race meant something last night.
Yeah.
And a postseason baseball game would have meant something more. That's exactly it. Now, it'll be the same thing when it comes to playoff times for the basketball. I'll watch postseason playoff NBA before I watch early season, regular season baseball. Easily. It's just when the games have to mean something. And like to your point, going back when you said, you think the NASCAR All-Star race is the only one that really means something. Well, that's the truth, really. Because there's a prize that they're really going for, and they're not just out there for shits and gigs. Like, it seems like they are for the Pro Bowl and for the All-Star game. Like, think about it. They introduce these guys sometimes that are ex-players, and they're like, 3-time Pro Bowler. I'm like, cool.
See, you remember us the other day we talked about...
Like cool. Like, I get it. That's great. Like, awesome, but what does the Pro Bowl really mean playing-wise? I mean, it's great that you were voted a Pro Bowler. You can just put that patch on your chest and go play for the rest of the next season saying I was a Pro Bowler.
Problem with the Pro Bowl is the same thing with an exhibition boxing match.
How do you fake hitting people,
Like full contact. Right. Let's have an MMA.
Yeah, let's have an all-star MMA fight.
Nobody gets hurt.
Nobody, but we're giving them a show.
So I'm looking at the dunk contest. It says Portland's Trailblazers Anthony Simmons blows a kiss to the rim for the dunk contest.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him kiss it because of COVID. He wanted to kiss the rim.
Oh, Christ.
I wish I was bullshit.
I know you do. God,
I wish.
Fuck. All right, I wasn't even where I was going. I was going with the fact that, one, I've never heard of Anthony Simmons.
Yeah. I think they were all rookies this year, or Anthony Simmons had played the last year. Obi Toppin was the rookie.
Obi Toppin and Cassius Stanley of the Pacers. And was that all just 3?
Yeah, it was only 3. Think about it, it was at halftime, so like they were kind of on a time constraint. I don't know. Here's the thing. They could have done better. But the guys did good dunks. The problem is that what you're saying right now, I don't know who they are. Now, I know who Obi Toppin is.
Do you know what the rules were?
No, I don't know what the rules were.
You remember how we talked the other day, the insanity of the rules?
Right.
Listen to this craziness. Simmons won the contest in the final round via a new rule called the judge's choice. Simmons and Toppin had 1 dunk each in the round, and instead of a score, the judges just selected a name.
You're talking out of a hat, or did they decide between the two?
Just between the two.
Okay, how's that to say?
There was no score. They just said, I think he did better.
Who was it that I was listening to coming down here?
So if 3 people got it 10-9, and 2 people got it 10-7,
right.
Well, the 10-7 is the champion.
That's right. Correct.
38 to 47 to 44.
Right.
But the winner would be the 3 guy.
Yeah, but they just chose the guy.
So that's what I'm telling you. So this is the first Portland Trailblazer to win it. He won by judge's choice.
Who were the judges?
The contest was judged by 5 former champions. Well, golly, y'all finally did one thing right. Dominique, Spud, D. Brown, Jason Richardson, and Josh Smith. For the first time in forever, they had 5 judges. People who act, and I complained about this Saturday too, is they never have judges
that
all can dunk. Like, how do you have a celebrity judge or a WNBA judge and none of them right here dunking or doing what they're doing?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't really, for you had three people I've never heard of, including us. Like y'all can't get three big names out there.
They haven't been able to for years.
Ridiculous.
They haven't been. Now listen, the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon back-to-back years, that was fun to watch. It was, and they only became. And think about it, they only became really household names because of those dunk contests. People realized that wow, these are actually two athletic freaks. Now, of course, Zach LaVine, he's with Chicago now instead of when he was with the Timberwolves. He's out here actually scoring some points now and is their main scorer. But Aaron Gordon still isn't the go-to guy for in Orlando. But we know who he is from the dunk contest.
Well, what do you think about my idea as far as doing dunks like they do gymnastics and ski jump competitions?
Well, that's what I was listening.
Having a predetermined score.
I was listening to Colin's show coming down the road because obviously it's on while I'm driving here. And I can't remember if it was either Joy who was with him or if it was Rick Bucher who he was talking to, who covers the NBA. But they started talking about the dunk contest, and she made a good point. I think it was Joy that said it, but it's all interpretation.
Right.
Like that's just what it is. It's interpretation. Right. It's just what one person thinks about it, then another person could think differently.
Right. That's been the major thing that I've had against not having actual dunkers
and to me, I was like, you know what, that makes perfect sense because it goes now to you. I'm like, well, why don't we just have set scores for certain dunks? And if you do it right, then this is what you're gonna get. If you don't do it right, because they were complaining about how I think Obi Toppin jumped over Julius Randle and his dad, and they were both 6'8", two people that were 6'8", and somehow, some way, like one person gave it like a 7, and the other guys were like giving it 8s and 9s, and it's like, well, that's just interpretation. And they were like, well, it's because they think he touched his shoulder, and I'm like, well, cool, but he did it again. He did jump over two damn 6'8" people. Okay, like it's hard. Like we can't keep recreating the wheel. We know what these dunks are.
I want to jump over the Ball family and dunk one. Everyone,
all of them,
just dunk over the Ball. Yeah, so here's my example of what it would be, folks. So you would say you'd go to the Vince Carter dunk, the reverse windmill. So that's a 50. Okay, if you can do that, just like he did, 50. Anything less than that, we drop down from there and judge. And that's how all these the sports I don't call sports. If I say my thing is if you have a judge, it's not a sport. Well, a dunk contest isn't a sport per se. It's a contest, right?
Right.
So again, I think we should put some type of a labeling on it as far as you have the history, Hunter, where you can go back through every dunk contest and put a number on each one of those dunks and then tell the guys coming in, these are the dunks, this is what you'll get if you hit it. And then they can look and be like, and then they enter in the judge. Well, I'm doing the 97 Carter or the 97 or the 88 Dominique or whatever. And then they'll look at their sheet and be like, well, the most I can give you is a 9.5 on this or whatever, and do it that way. You got to do something besides have three people nobody's ever heard of and whatever. LaVine is averaging 28.7 points a game.
But Chicago's just not winning. That's the problem. That's the same problem people have with what Trae Young and them are doing in Atlanta. Like, sure, Trae Young's averaging like 26, 27 points, but like they're not winning.
5 teams in the East are above 500 now. That could change within the week.
Like, sure, I see over there like the Hawks. Well, really, the Bulls are just on the outside looking in for that 8 seed. But even still, that's
they're actually tied for it.
But still, that's a losing record, though.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like, I mean, they're not dominant.
Heat are 500 are the 6th seed. The Phoenix Suns now have the second best record in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
We warned people, didn't we?
Well, Chris Paul going there, yeah.
We warned people. He might be the greatest regular season point guard of all time.
Postseason, we can't win.
He's hot garbage in the postseason.
But he wins in the regular season. I guess what everybody talks about, Colin talked about it earlier today. He was like, even Chris Paul was winning with Oklahoma City last year when they were trying to tank.
I think his thing is that he wants to win.
Yeah, he's not going to sit there and just say, all right,
I don't think
we'll
he's
lose.
in the tanking, losing business. I think Chris Paul plays hard and wants to win.
Well, the reason
when you get in the playoffs, that's when everybody else is playing hard and wants to win. And in the regular season, you can get people sleeping all the time.
But the thing with Chris Paul, too, is, I mean, he's still got people still want him to prove something because he doesn't have that ring.
Well, he also might slap people in the nuts in a regular season game.
Maybe.
Can't trust that dude.
Maybe he will.
Nothing.
But listen, now if you're asking me between those top 2 seeds in the West, which one I believe more in, I would say Phoenix. I think they've got better playmakers. I like Donovan Mitchell a lot.
See, I think the key to beating LeBron and them is the defense, and I think Gobert is the key.
I think Gobert will make it tough.
Because anybody that's contested,
I think DeAndre Ayton is slept on though as a defensive player. He's only in his second year.
He might be. You're right. Who's giving LeBron the most trouble? Roy Hibbert did. Kevin Durant does when he guards him. He can't do nothing on Durant. Let's see. There was somebody else that. Who else?
LeBron James only played 13 minutes in that All-Star game.
How about Dirk? Smoked him he had plenty of trouble with that guy. What I mean is, like, if you got 7-footers in the lane that can contest with him, if you'll watch a game with LeBron in it, how many of his layups are uncontested, really, through the lane? Like, you watch a Jordan drive and 2 or 3 people hit him. The only person that almost ever makes contact with LeBron is the guy who's guarding him.
Well, at the top, and he blows by him.
He drops his shoulder into him and knocks him out of the way. And then every now and then you have a big guy contest like Roy Hibbert. I think Gobert can be a difference in that. The problem is that your offense, like you said, they got to be able to keep up.
Well, this is the whole scenario that we've talked about if Jordan played in today's game, really, why LeBron is still just so dominant. I mean, look.
There's nobody in the paint.
There's nobody in the paint.
No.
Because you're sitting here talking about, well, if there was a big man down there, they wouldn't really be scoring much. It's like, well, all the 3s and all the 4s and 5s are on the wings playing catch and shoot. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. But this also speaks to how today's basketball is gone. They shot 66% of their shots outside of the 3-point line last night in that All-Star game. 66% of the shots
in an All-Star game.
In an All-Star game were from outside the 3-point line. And Giannis, what's his specialty? Down low, 16 for 16. You know why? Because nobody's down there.
Did he get MVP?
Yeah, 16 for 16, 35 points. Like, nobody's there to stop him.
Right.
I mean, everybody else just wants to keep shooting these threes. Cool. But at the end of the day,
I want to show someone something here. So here's my point about the 90s basketball and 2000s and about how LeBron has nobody in the lane when he shoots a layup. This is the most famous play probably in Jordan's history. This is the hand switch.
Mm-hmm.
How many Lakers are in the lane, Hunter?
There's 4.
Before he even touches the basketball.
That's 4.
You mean name all these jokers real quick? James Worthy 6'9", AC Green 6'8", Magic Johnson 6'9", Sam Perkins is 6'11", Vlade Divac is 7 foot, and he's the guy out of the paint. 4 6'9" guys in the paint and a 7-footer for the Lakers are on the floor. And Jordan's most famous this move, Jordan gives it up, steps back, gets it back. When he catches the ball, now Vlade's there, and Vlade's below the line. He's not in front of him, but still, Hunter, there's 5 Lakers, 6'9" or taller, in the lane. And then Jordan does his move, handing the switch. Now, yeah, he didn't get hammered on that one. He didn't know he wasn't getting hammered. That's why he switched his hands.
Right.
But the point is,
well, he was probably so shell-shocked from Pistons ball that absolutely.
So you get there, and the point we're trying to make is like when LeBron takes it to the rack, there's nobody there. Mm-mm. There's just one person. It's whoever you're guarding. It's a different. You can last longer in that basketball. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, I
think if they need to cut that corner 3 out.
Rick Bucher, because Rick Bucher made the good point. He said to Colin, he basically said, Colin, I don't know if this is just looking ahead or maybe that All-Star game last night was a little bit of foreshadowing to who's going to win the NBA championship, but he said they did in fact shoot 66% of their shots behind the 3-point line. He said, and if that's not today's basketball, then that's exactly what it is everybody's just looking to shoot the 3-point line. And when Rick Bucher said this part right here, I said, well, I would hate to watch basketball. I thought that in my mind. He said, one day we're going to have a basketball league probably where they don't care about rebounds and getting the ball down low anymore. It just comes down to possessions going from 3-point line to 3-point line, who can hit more 35-footers than the other. And I'm like, well, what does that do for the guy that's got the great ball handling skills and can drive the lane? Like, he is now no longer as important and as valuable as someone that can just do a pull-up 35-footer.
So
And the big guys, why the hell would you have a 7-footer anymore? If he can't pull up from 35 feet, I mean, when Rick Bucher said that, to me, I was like, I pray to God it's not. The NBA does not just go, we're going to outshoot you from 35 feet the whole time. Because that's like watching a tennis match or a ping pong match. I'm just going to watch the ball hit off the rim or either go in, hit off the rim, or go in.
Here's what I don't understand, Hunter. Why isn't it? Again, if I'm playing defense, I want you to shoot from 35 feet. I want you to shoot from 30. I want you to shoot the 3. Because I'm going to contend and contest and then box out. But the problem is, I don't think anybody's contending.
No.
Like, if you come into a game knowing the other team's going to shoot nothing but 3s, can you not drop a defense?
But at the same time, too, it's not just Steph Curry that's hitting these 35-footers anymore.
What I'm saying is that, but you could play defense.
Right, but
like
me and you know that we've been saying this for years. There's no defense in the NBA.
Right.
It really should be the NDA, no defense.
If I'm guarding you outside the 3-point line, you're no threat to get a layup, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, again, like you said, I don't think anybody's playing any defense, because if they were, you wouldn't be hitting all these 3s, because what would keep you from guarding?
But you know what one of the problems is, too, is my buddy of mine argues that it was better that they took away the hand check, and I'm thinking, I don't think it is. It's because you can't get in anybody's face anymore and actually play hard-nosed defense. Sure, you can try and stay in front of them and move your feet, but what does that do when you try to contest a guy that's pulling up from 30 feet away? I mean, what can you do if you can't get up in his face and use your body? If he just pulls up and you have to stay about an arm's length or more away, that's nothing. Like in soccer, they
James
always
Harden stuff is
like think about it. In soccer, they always taught us, and the professionals always said, you only need this much of your foot to get a shot off. All right, about the tip of your foot, if not maybe 2 or 3 inches. What do you think these NBA players need for them to get a shot off on the extension of their arm? You see Steph's shot, that thing's like, it doesn't even look like he has to fully extend. And if you're already having to give him almost a foot and a half off of him, you're just giving him an easy shot. If you can't sit in the guy's pocket, then really you can say the same thing about defense in the NFL. If I can't get in the guy's pocket, it's just free picking, and I just have to react after. That's what it is.
So you want to talk Space Jam?
I mean, listen, I saw the pictures. I'll never say that graphically it won't be enjoyable to look at, but that's the difference between today's movie and the last movie.
I've seen the graphics, and they've ruined it.
You don't like that they went 3D?
Oh, I don't even know that.
Well, it's not like 3D, but like the 3D characters instead of well, no, they were kind of 3D in Space Jam, the original. I don't know. I guess it's the HD that makes them pop the cartoon characters a little bit more. You don't like that they put sparkly stuff around LeBron James and...
Haven't seen that part. I'm mad about one particular part.
What?
Lola Bunny.
Oh, come on.
So I'm serious. Not only are we all going to be slaves in 2 years because LeBron's going to lose to these aliens because Porky Pig misses in the corner for 3 when he kicks it to him. Now we have to look at an ugly Lola Bunny. The best joke on the internet now, though, is that Jessica Rabbit is now the #1 hottest rabbit in cartoons, and she married into a rabbit. She's not a real rabbit.
She's not even a real rabbit.
She married
Roger Rabbit.
She married a rabbit. Oh, goodness. Hunter, Lola Bunny was, let me put it this way. A lot of the cartoons and around bugs, and if Lola was in it, even the ones my kids have, like, and the reason her name's Lola is because she's supposed to be a hottie. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't name her like Beatrice or Dorothy, or it's Lola Bunny.
Right.
So, anyway, I'm trying to bring up some pictures of it. I'll put it this way. I don't care that much. Some people like really do care. But Lola was always one of my favorite cartoon characters. I just thought it was funny, a great character. Bugs was goo goo gaga for. You know, I love Lola. One of my cartoons is one of the cartoons the kids have that we listen to in the cars. She's actually plays the role of the crazy girlfriend. And it's hilarious. And so it's not objectifying her in that way at all. But again, like, I don't know. The fans are going crazy about this. The Lola lost her curves, is what they're saying.
They made her look more like a bunny.
They made her look like an actual WNBA player.
Oh.
If I can put it that way.
Okay.
She doesn't really have curves anymore. If I can find the newest one. Have you seen it? This is the controversy.
Yeah. I see what they're saying. That yeah.
WNBA.
Yeah.
Cheerleader.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. I see it.
That's all I'm saying.
I see it. But here's the thing, I was not really planning on watching the movie anyways.
Oh, I would never in my life watch a single second of that garbage. Not once. It's so... The whole LeBron thing has been so disrespectful to Jordan. It's been ridiculous. Like, nobody has disrespected Muhammad Ali. As far as... Even when Tyson was coming up. Like, people still aren't disrespecting Tyson or any of these other people. Like, but why... Like, it's one thing, I want to be like Mike. Is what a lot of people wanted to be. It's okay if you want to be better. If that's your goal, that's a goal. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But before you even win 6 championships or anything, you're wearing number 23. You're redoing his movies.
Mm-hmm.
You're calling yourself the greatest. And nothing that you've done except lose more than him. You've got a few more rebounds, maybe some assists. Who cares? And now you're redoing his movie. So like it's 100% disrespect to that. And I don't care what anybody says about it. Make your own movie. Why don't you and Mickey make a movie?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Call up Disney.
Why like Space Jam 2? Like, well, why does it have to be that? Another question on this has nothing to do with it. See if Hunter can answer this one. Why does Jurassic Park the only people that can make dinosaur movies? Do they have the rights to making dinosaurs?
Universal, I guess, like they're the ones. I don't know. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is Disney not or anyone else not making dinosaur movies? It drives me nuts. Like, we have to wait, and then because
if you're talking realistic dinosaur movies, yeah, I'm not trying to get on tangent, but like
right.
Disney had like the Land Before Time stuff, but
so when you get what I'm saying is that when you get, let's say I want to watch a dinosaur movie, I have to watch that dinosaur, one of those. And it has to follow along their story. It's not like it can be a different story.
Right.
It has to follow along their gene splicing, genetic war mongering people. And it can't just be like, hey, I went to Africa and found some dinosaurs. That drives me nuts. I know it has nothing to do with that, but one little quick thing the other day, I was just sitting there thinking, like, why the hell have we not had any more dinosaur movies?
I guess Hollywood. But we'll have 50,000 different superhero movies.
Right.
Good God.
Right. There's where I'm going. I have to watch Ben Affleck as Batman, but I can't see another dinosaur made by someone else.
Right.
Batflack. What a butch wolf.
Batflack.
And then this pedophile decides he wants to make comments about it. Have you seen this trash?
Who is
James
it?
Gunn. You know who he is? You don't know who James Gunn is? All right. He's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy's original. A few years back, and I'm going to read you how this website quotes it. He made a bunch of child pedophile jokes on Twitter. Like awful. And they canceled him for a little bit and then gave him his job back after a little while.
I got you.
But this is how he was canceled when Disney fired him from the third film. And this is how they frame it, Hunter. After Trump supporters dug up old tweets where he made a series of tasteless jokes that he had already apologized years earlier for. That's how they just frame that. Not, hey, this guy made pedophile comments on Twitter. Trump supporters dug up old tweets that he apologized for tasteless jokes. Holy Chris. I can't even read those tweets. They're so disgusting. Like, you can't, Hunter, you read them, you'd be like, this guy is filth. And that's what he is. And he chimes in because Pepe Le Pew is not in the movie either because of rape culture.
Oh, I've seen them saying they want to cancel, I think, like some of the older Looney Tunes, like cartoons in general with Pepe Le Pew. I think.
Have you ever watched any of them growing up? Or Looney Tunes
I
Pepe?
watched Looney Tunes.
So what's the premise of Pepe?
You.
So Pepe is a skunk.
Yeah.
Right? The funny part of the bit, y'all, is that he's a fucking skunk that wants to fall in love and with another skunk, but he keeps finding this cat that gets painted white.
Yeah.
He's not trying to rape the cat.
Yeah.
He's in love with him because he's a skunk, and nobody loves him because he stinks. This isn't hard.
It's not hard.
Like that. At no point in my life, Hunter, when I was a child and growing up, did I think, man, this Pepe, he's an asshole.
Jeez. Oh, and I know they wanted to get rid of.
It's funny because he's a skunk and he stinks and no one wants to be around him.
And they want to cancel Speedy because they say it's cultural. It's against because Speedy Gonzalez, the little rat,
because
he's Hispanic.
Okay, so if he was American, it'd be okay.
Hell, I guess I just don't know. I don't know what they mean by that. I don't.
So weird.
To me, grew up watching Looney Tunes along with everybody else. Like I don't see what everybody is starting to pick and weave, and they're framing it how they want it.
So
to
Speedy
look.
was in my kid's cartoon too. In the same, it's a different. So it's a Looney Tunes. So you know how they do like it's 4 different cartoons in one disc. So one of them is it's Bugs and Daffy go on a best friends game show. Mm-hmm. Okay,
was Speedy in the original Space Jam? I think he was. I think he was. Yeah, and
I
don't know if he's in this one.
I don't know. So Speedy in this one is just a mouse in Bugs' house, and basically Daffy has moved in. He's lived there for like 2 years, and Speedy's telling him that that he doesn't have any friends and that he's a mooch and all this other stuff. And Daffy's the funniest part is Daffy's like, I have friends, and he names Speedy. He goes, you're my friend. He goes, I'm not your friend. It's just immediately, I'm not your friend. And he says it so fast. It's so funny because everything he's fast. And geez, as a kid, if you think that's what you're teaching kids is, I think people have too much time on their hands, Hunter.
I think they do too. I think COVID's made it worse.
People have too much time on their hands.
People ain't going to work.
But the fact they've got this piece of shit James Gunn on here, I mean, he's just garbage. Is the things and he apologized for. Okay, is that how it works, Hunter?
Sure.
Can we go back to any conservative and say, hey, he apologized in '97? Does that count?
No.
I apologize for making child rape and pedophile jokes.
And they gave me my job back.
Yeah. What an asshat. Well, just total. Anyway, the Space Jam stuff's not too. I did want to bitch about the Lola stuff, because that is something different. The game we've talked about enough and stuff that I don't. LeBron's more likely to lose the game against the aliens.
Well, I just want to know what the premise. I want to know what the premise of it is. I need more information. That's what I don't know.
Is it different aliens? Any aliens?
Are we fighting mole men now? Are they coming up out of the ground? I don't know. Why have we got to play a basketball game?
Doesn't Steph Curry have a better winning percentage in finals than LeBron?
I just don't know.
Why would I not want Kevin Durant as the best player?
Well, why can't Michael try and do it again? What happened?
Hey, there's another great question. Exactly.
I mean, sure, he's in his 50s,
Space Jam
but
2 have been the same aliens coming back somehow.
We're trying to get revenge on Michael?
Yeah, we're getting revenge on Michael. And then he brings
I swear, if they twist this around where Michael's been abducted and LeBron has to save him, I'll never watch this damn movie in my life.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to do the same thing they did with the Star Wars movies. They're going to trash all the old stars and try to make the new guys look better. Remember, Luke Skywalker them got rid of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. 30 years later, he's back. Y'all wasted y'all's whole lives in the past 30 years.
Yeah. And
did I not read that correctly?
Luke was scared of his nephew. And Luke was scared of his nephew.
Coward. You went from Luke Skywalker is the greatest hero in the history of the galaxy to he's a fucking coward. And we had to have his nephew fall in love with Palpatine's granddaughter, who we still don't know where the fuck she came from. Where did she come from? We don't know.
I don't know.
And bring him back just to make her look good and say she is the key to beating the Emperor. We wasted 9 movies. 9 movies.
9 movies.
Fucking horse shit. And they're going to do the same thing in Space Jam. Well, LeBron, Michael won. It didn't mean anything. Bill Murray, he did all everything. He didn't mean anything. Fuck, Lola had her breast implants taken out. Or whatever they did to Lola. We kicked Speedy and LePepe out. Just can't wait for that sweet-ass pass LeBron makes to the corner to win the game.
I just don't understand. Like, the premise of the first Space Jam was cool. It was neat. But, like, what what are you going to do in this movie that's going to be any different than what you just did in the last movie?
What's it called? The theme or the plot? The plot. Let's look up
A New Legacy or whatever.
Well, this is called Wacky Plot Synopsis. And I'm sure the Daffy and Bug stuff will be funny. Daffy's always...
Well, their banter will always be funny.
Right.
But that's writers, They'll write that. I just want to know what the premise behind Space Jam 2 is going to be. Because that'll probably pick or choose if I even watch the movie.
Oh, my God. I'm going to read this to you. It's already made my head hurt.
What's it say?
James will play a heightened version of himself.
So he's a superhero.
I don't know. Who struggles to relate to his young son, Dom, played by Cedric Joe.
Why didn't they just have Bronny in the movie?
Who is more interested in creating games than playing them. The outlandish synopsis reads, when Dom's tech skills draw attention of a CGI humanoid named AIG Rhythm, the father-son duo gets sucked into a Warner 3000 Entertainment Severeverse with the AI kidnapping Dom in hopes of stealing some of the king's followers. Bronny's in it, isn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Jeez, when James is sucked into the Warner Brothers server, he travels through some of the studio's most famous movies in order to find characters from the Looney Tunes universe to enlist to help save his son. So LeBron and his son are sucked into a server.
Into a video game.
And LeBron runs around the other movies finding Looney Tunes to help him save his son because, as always, LeBron can't do shit by himself. Did I read that right, Hunter?
Well, not just that. Listen,
he still can't win nothing by himself.
All right, so
he needs 10 All-Stars.
This is what I want to know.
To find his son.
So, one, why was Bronny not just playing his son? I don't understand that. They had to have some other character play his son. Now, nobody's going to believe that it's his son. All right. Two, how do the other NBA players fit into this movie that apparently are supposed to be in the movie? Like, I'm pretty sure Anthony Davis is supposed to be in there. I'm not sure who else is supposed to be in this game. Like, did he get sucked into this video game world just to play them in a video game?
Okay, so basically, the bad guy takes the other NBA players and makes video characters out of them, and they have to play each other.
Like video game models or whatever.
So basically, they're all video game players, and they're playing in a video game. So LeBron and all the NBA players are video game characters.
Cool concept. I don't think No, but listen. Cool concept, but I don't think the Looney Tunes needed to be pulled into that concept. We couldn't just do this concept with somebody else. It had to be with Looney Tunes.
With the help of Bugs Bunny, LeBron must navigate through a never-before-imagined world, filmed with the iconic movie scenes and characters as they reassemble the Looney Tunes to rescue his lost son. Now, to get back home, LeBron and the Tunes have to unravel Ali G's mystery plan and win an epic basketball game against digital, gamified super versions of the NBA and WNBA's biggest stars as the world watches. So, there is no alien slavery.
Okay.
The whole world is concerned that LeBron lost his son. How many children go missing a year? How many kids just disappear a year and we're worried about LeBron's son in a video game the whole world's watching? But either way, it sounds like Space Jam has turned into a real-life world version of NBA Jam with Looney Tunes and aliens. Because if you're playing a supervised version video game of someone, isn't that an NBA Jam character?
NBA Jam. Or like NBA Street.
So now, remember, because today's basketball players, Hunter, are bigger, faster, stronger. Now, all the players will be dunking from half court like Michael did in Space Jam 1. Want to bet on that?
They'll probably... I can see this happening because, most movies, if they're making a sequel or a second, they'll always sometimes throw some bits and pieces in there that pay homage to the movie before it. And so what they'll do is it'll either be LeBron or one of them will dunk from half court while being held at half court, and that'll just be your little tidbit like, oh, that was in the first Space Jam. Michael did that. He became Stretch Armstrong.
One of the aliens in the last one was Muggsy Bogues. That guy was funny. He was fast. He'd run around.
Yeah. Charles Barkley was taken.
He was the dunk monster.
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't Grandmama one of them?
He has Larry Johnson
Yeah.
and Sean Bradley and Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
They had 3 centers, a power forward, and a point guard.
That's all they needed. That's all they needed.
They were trying to keep Jordan from dunking on him, Hunter. They weren't worried about the pass to the Porky in the corner. They got 7-footers out there.
I don't know.
John Bradley.
Listen, this thing just kind of like. Listen, I kind of like the concept because it does modernize it getting sucked into a video game. We've seen multiple movies trying to make that happen, but
Getting sucked into a golf hole is way more realistic.
But I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking. One, I'm still stuck on why they didn't just have Bronny play his own damn son. I don't understand. And 2, why did the Looney Tunes have to be brought into it?
I got that part.
I don't understand. Like where you? Okay, I get you were sucked into Warner Brothers server.
That's why.
We couldn't have just done this with anybody, any other company server.
It said they were on a visit to Warner Brothers studio and got sucked into the server.
By an AI.
By AI.
Artificial intelligence. Wow. Wow. I'll tell you what. You know what? I might just watch the movie to do a comparison, to do a comp, just to see. And then when it's over, I'll either label it trash or hot trash.
All right. If those are the choices, I'll let you do that.
Exactly.
I'll let that book report be allowed.
Yeah, there you go. Trash or hot trash?
I told you Saturday I had a few things to say about it. I was at least going to make it fun with it.
I don't blame you. I look at the premise and I'm like, look, LeBron, if you want to get into movies and stuff, fine. I mean, you have your own production company.
Where's the space part?
But
where's the aliens part? Why how's the Space Jam?
To me, it was always just, why did Space Jam need a second movie?
This is Looney Tunes. I'm going to rename it. This is Looney Tunes NBA Jam. Is that more?
Looney NBA Jam.
Is that more like realistic for what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's what it sounds like.
Did you hear me say the word aliens?
Nope.
Did you hear me say the word space or spaceships?
Nope.
So where the fuck is Space Jam coming from?
That's the point I'm getting to is he could have made this movie probably without the Looney Tunes and without the label of Space Jam on it. And guess what? We probably wouldn't have had as big of a fuss.
You know why he didn't? There's not a damn person would have went to theaters to see that crap.
Probably
not.
Not. Probably not.
Crap. I said trap. Trash. I combined trash and crap into
It's a trap.
And
Don't go with the trap.
But again, like if it was called LeBron's NBA Jam, just that, with no Loonies, no tunes, would people go see it? Like Shazam.
The LeBron section.
That's what I'm saying. How many guys have made basketball movies and it's just not been fantastic. Well,
that's really the only one I've thought of.
I think they make way more money with Looney Tunes.
I mean, Rick Fox has played a good character in all the Tyler Perry movies he's ever been a part of, but he's not the main character.
With Looney attached to it, what they're trying to get the kids.
Yeah, and it makes it goofy.
That's the only way they're going to make any money off of it. It's through the kids and that. Are LeBron fans going to be buying? Are there going to be kids buying Toon Squad jerseys? I guess they will because they'll probably sell them.
They're going to sell Toon Squad jerseys. Come on now.
If I see you wearing a LeBron James
Toon Squad jersey and it's not Michael Jordan's Toon Squad jersey,
Space Jam jersey, oh my gosh, a lot of respect.
Well, what was it? Was Zach LaVine? I think. The first or second year he was doing the dunk contest, he put on a Michael Jordan Toon Squad jersey.
Did he?
I believe that's the case. I have the interweb in front of me.
All right. You want to move over to some football?
Oh, wow. Absolutely.
I tell you what, I'm trying to decide if I want to do it or not. I want to mention a little bit of Yeti's baseball, but
you want Toon Squad. Yeah. He wore the Toon Squad jersey in one of the dunk contests.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. You didn't watch any of the Yetis baseball this weekend, right?
I was at a brewery, unfortunately. I did not.
For 2 straight days, you were at a brewery.
Well, I will say this. I was at a brewery Saturday for my buddy's birthday, and
Yeah.
Sunday I was in the car for almost 6 hours because I took my girlfriend. I went out there and she picked up the puppy that she bought. So we were out in Wake Forest, North Carolina yesterday. She picked up her puppy that she bought and she brought it
What
back.
kind of dog?
It is a Boston Terrier puppy. His
Is
name
that
is
the ones
Maverick.
that look like the same walking forward and backwards?
Probably. I have a Boston Terrier with my family, but we were that's really.
I'm thinking a pug.
Yeah, the pug is a squish face. They look like a loaf of bread. There's the Bostons.
Yeah, one of my friends. Put it this way, it's gonna be long. One of my friend's girlfriend's roommate.
Yes,
in college
I understand.
Had one of
I
these
followed
jokers.
that. Yeah.
And that son of a bitch pissed on everything.
Oh, mine at the house.
They picked the couch up to move, and pee came out of it. I said, I told y'all, there's a reason I hadn't sat on that couch forever. I told y'all it smelled like pee. That dog, I'm talking everywhere. Now, what's funny about that dog is that he would chase a laser pointer.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that dog may have ran into a garage or two. I didn't have anything to do with it, but Jackie, my roommate, might have.
Oh my.
But them things chase laser pointers like cats.
Listen,
do.
he's got a bunch of energy right now. He's 8 weeks old. I'm probably gonna be on and off there the whole week.
What's his
hanging
name?
out with her.
Jeffrey?
His name is Maverick.
Oh god.
Maverick, the Boston Terrier. But that is what I did yesterday. We did not get back till about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
So, all right. So let me tell you a little bit about
Yeah.
Kitty's baseball. Fuck. Saturday they lost a doubleheader.
Cleveland County Community College. Or
Saturday,
Cleveland Community College in
Saturday,
Cleveland County.
They lost a doubleheader. I hope Gene's not watching. 30-2.
Is there no
30-2.
Is that one or is that combined?
That's in the doubleheader.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it was probably 15-1 in both of them.
They had 24 walks and hits batsmen.
You don't win like that.
And let me put it this way. I'm not sure, because they kept keeping up with them after a while, if they gave up more runs, walked more people, or had more errors.
Ooh.
So think about what I just said. In 2 games, they gave up 30 runs and walked 24 people. I'm not sure that either one of those are the highest number.
The errors.
The errors might have been 35 errors.
Amongst 2 games.
2 games, Hunter. 2 games. I told Gene, texted me that night, says that's tough. I said, yeah.
And what about the next day?
Their pitch, the other team's pitching was good. You get shut down, right? Mm-hmm. Shit happens.
Right.
And I told him, I said, you can't excuse anything about that defense.
No.
He was concerned about the pitching, obviously the walks, because that's just 20-something walks.
20-something walks, yeah. I mean, if only one person makes it each time, it's about
I'm going to
5
walk down the
runs.
hall and get the book just to talk about yesterday's game for a second. But the errors, Hunter, the catcher, the first batter got on and tried to steal second, and Zach hosed him. He's from Burns, Zach Wilson. The next guy went down, and they probably stole 7 to 10 straight bases after that.
Because he couldn't get him. He'd
He
overthrow
was
him.
throwing it to the wrong side of the bag.
So the guy had to probably reach back across,
Right.
and it was in center field
Right.
by the time.
Well, as far as that goes, is not a single infielder, first baseman or third baseman is who I'm talking about, knocked down one ball.
Just kept going by him.
Every time the catcher threw, they stole 5 bases, Hunter, and not a single ball was knocked down by the third baseman. He threw it to the left fielder about 5 times. And I'm not blaming Zach. He threw it the wrong side of the base, and he one-hopped it. If I'm at third base, my only job, because I know if I miss it, the guy scores, is to knock
it
the
down.
ball down.
Get in front of it.
I don't
care.
understand. I don't know what they were doing. First baseman did the same shit. They threw it over there, and he just lets it roll by. I don't know. It was as close to bad news Bears as it could get on the defensive end, and Gene knows, and I was like, that was bad. But pitching, again, you get shut down sometimes. Guy was pumping 95 and 6, Hunter,
Well, there you go.
in JUCO ball here.
I mean, listen. That's going to happen.
Major League Baseball.
Listen, you got guys right now that are coming in that ain't really just JUCO players. They
second.
played at D1, but because of the roster sizes, they got to go play somewhere else. So you might run into a D1, D2 straight stud that's throwing 95 plus from the mound. I mean, he might be MLB readiness playing at the JUCO level right now just because of the roster sizes that happened last year. That's just one of the things that's going to happen. But dang, that's tough, man. That's tough. You have 30 plus errors in 2 games on the same day. You couldn't, I don't know, tighten that stuff up in between games. Say, hey, maybe we should focus on this a little bit more.
All right, so you want me to twist the knife even further?
Let's do it.
Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday. Hunter Shue on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Through 7 innings.
Yeah.
Let's back it up. Through 6 innings, Hunter Shue, 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 2 hits.
Okay.
6 innings, 2 hits, 5 Ks.
I got you.
First 3 batters in the 7th. Hit by pitch, single, base clearing double. You're up 7-2.
Okay.
So the offense had done its. Well, no, at this point it was 4-0. Let's back up. It's 4-0. Top 7th. First 3 batters. Hit by pitch, single, base clearing double. They bring in another pitcher, Josh Compton. So Shaw's final stats ended up being 6 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits. Okay? Compton comes in, walks the first guy. He's still second on the next pitch. So now you got second and third. Then Compton strikes out the next 2, pop up to center field, gets out of the inning.
Look.
So after 7 innings, it's 4-2. Yetis.
Mm-hmm. You only got 2 more. That's all you got to get through.
Final score was 11-7.
Damn, they lit up 9 in 2 innings.
So, in the 8th inning, it's bottom of the 7th, right?
Uh-huh.
The Yetis put on 3 to add to the insurance. So now it's set. Now it's back to 7-2.
Uh-huh.
They cut it to 4-2. Yetis get 3. 7-2. Top 8. We're in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
They get 1. Make it 7-3. Yetis nothing in the bottom of the 8th. Top 9 at 7-3, Hunter.
So they get 6.
8.
8. Oh, that's right. Uh-huh.
7 straight come across the plate. First 7, get this, all with 2 outs.
No, don't tell
Hunter.
me that. Don't tell me that.
It was 7-3.
Somebody's asses got chewed out.
It was 7-3, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, and got beat 11-7.
That's middle school.
2 outs, bottom of the 9th, up 7-3.
I mean,
Or
who
2,
was the
7-3.
other team looking at
They got
doing this at?
beat.
Because that's a choke job.
So here's what happened. The leadoff batter got out, second batter. The leadoff batter popped up to the catcher, Zach Wilson, who made a diving play at the backstop to catch it for the first out. Next batter hit a chopper to third base. He made a great backhanded throw over to first to get the out. Leadoff hitter comes up, deep fly ball in the gap. Left fielder hits his glove as he runs into the wall.
Drops it.
Yep. Third out. So kids at third. All right. Next batter. Pops it up to first base. Foul. Drops it.
So he gets the second opportunity.
There's 4 outs.
All right.
All right. So he gets the second opportunity, base hit, run scores. Next guy, with one guy on, hits a ball 700 feet.
He crushed it.
So now it's 7-5. Kevin's getting a little worried here, boys.
Uh-huh.
But all we need is 1 out.
That's it.
We just 1 out.
Mm-hmm.
Next guy, E5. Like we haven't had enough of those.
Mm-hmm.
Next guy single. So now we got first and second.
What did third baseman do?
Just booted the fuck out of the ball.
He hit it with his foot?
He did everything but catch it.
Oh. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking,
So
what did you do in this opportunity to get to E?
Right, back-to-back batters. We dropped a pop-up. We dropped a fly ball against the wall, dropped a pop-up foul, and then the third baseman booted one. So that's 5 outs.
Mm-hmm.
Still winning.
By 1. Well, no, it's 2 at that
Next
point.
guy gets a single, and the next guy hits another 700-foot home run.
Just creamed it.
I mean, it was gone. Left fielder just,
Watched it.
I don't even know if he turned.
As soon as it hit off the bat, I was like, I'm not turning.
And the field out there, Hunter, it's 320 down the line, 399 in the center. The whole left field is a 25-foot green monster.
He cleared it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Them balls were way gone. It wasn't like, that might go out. He's going back. It was, my second call was, oh, there's another home run.
Yeah.
I didn't even, it was, woof,
Yeah.
11-7. You were winning 7-3 with 2 outs
In the ninth.
in the ninth and lost. They might have got one in the 8th. They might have been 11-8. No, I don't think so. Somebody said something about that, and I was like, I can't remember. I was so mad at this book. But, yeah. So that was the weekend I had. And remember, I was pretty much by myself broadcasting that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told people I was this close to winning Bob Euchre.
Don't.
I was about to start pouring the Jack Daniels
Don't.
in the press box. Tanner's beside me, not saying nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, holy God.
Right.
16-2 the first game, 14-0 next game, and then
You lose.
the one of the biggest
choke jobs.
baseball chokes I've ever seen.
Jeez.
And if you're one of those pitchers though, and your team gets 10 errors,
Well, no,
Or they
yeah, I was
dropping
about to say,
pop-ups
it's
and-
like
and-
the pitcher kind of just looks around and just says, I mean, I did my job. What were y'all supposed to do?
we talked a little bit about that. Like, I honestly don't know how to judge the pitchers in the first 2 games because the defense was so bad because every time you threw one away, they got a double or a triple. And then Zach, when they started stealing on him, Hunter, it was like Little League. You get a walk, it's automatic triple. Because they just steal second and third. And so they were fantastic through 6 innings Sunday. Almost really fantastic. They won through 7. If it's a 7-inning ball game, Yetis win 7-3. 8-inning ball game, Yetis win 7-3.
9 inning, top of the ninth, they still win. Bottom of the ninth, not so much.
Yeah, so it was not a good day yesterday. This weekend for the Yetis. Sunday's team is the team I expected. The way they played, is just the errors and stuff. Look, as a baseball
Well, how many
fan
games
or
are they
player,
into right now?
the errors drive me crazy. They were 5-6 coming into the weekend. Now they're 5-9.
Well, I mean, you've played almost 14 games, almost 15 games. I mean, you should be starting to. How many games are they playing on the season? 30.
Right at it. He said that this is conference play starting up, and somebody in their conference picked them. 2 of them. There was 2 picks. I was told one person picked them to win 0, another picked them to win 2 games the whole season. So,
I mean, you're thinking
I will
at
say
this
this
point
about-
they would at least get some of those jitters knocked out.
I'll say this about the Patrick Henry guys. I can't speak for anything that was said from Cleveland's dugout or anything like that. But with as little people in the ballpark and my mics everywhere, Patrick Henry is one of the most cussing bunch of
Mouthy.
baseball teams I mean, when they hit those home runs, Hunter, they'd run out to home plate and look at the other team and they would say, fuck you to y'all. Like one guy went, fuck y'all. Like just straight on, and he's standing at home plate, 2 fingers, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is college. Does anybody say anything or do anything? Just surely to God.
Probably not.
Hit the next guy in the head. I don't know.
Beam
But like,
him.
you know what the international signal for hit this batter is
All right.
from the catcher?
It's the middle finger?
Yep.
I was about to say.
That's it. If you ever see the catcher, throw the middle finger, folks. Get ready for the meatball. Here it comes.
Yikes.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about this weekend. Hunter,
Got some work to do this week.
I told you I
boys.
was going to twist that knife that third game.
Dude, gotta work on some things there.
Look, pitching, talent, hitting, all that, but the defensive thing, that
It just
as
comes down
me,
to execution.
As a coach, fan of baseball, The one thing that drives me crazy more than anything is defensive miscues. I don't know why it drives me crazy.
It's just execution. But that's why I asked how many games they played. You're almost 15 games into a 30-game season. You shouldn't. No, not at all. You shouldn't have 30-something errors within 2 games.
Shit.
I can only imagine what it was at the end of the weekend. Like, come on.
Sunday wasn't that bad. That's what I was saying. Until the 7th inning, they made 2.
Come on now. If this was a
They were great.
I got what you think about it. If this was pros, I mean, hey, some guys be fired or relegated the next day. Come on. I mean, and I'm not even a pro, and I'm not a pro baseball player, but you make it to that level, and sure, people will scoff at it and say it's JUCO, guys. It's still that level. 15 games into a season, you should at least have it kind of tightened up. But hey, get them next time.
All right, Hunter.
People said you wouldn't win 2 games or 0. You've got, 5 so far? Exceeding expectations.
Well, I told him, I was like, dude, you go 500 at home? But again, conference is a little bit. That team was ranked 23rd in the country. They had a bunch of dudes. They had a bunch of big dudes. That don't matter size, obviously, in baseball. They had some stout fellas.
Well, but again, I don't know if you heard what I said when you were walking down. I was like, you don't know how many of these teams might have D1, D2 guys that just had looked for a roster spot, and they're playing JUCO ball right now. Like, you might be playing a guy that's playing every day at the next level.
A lot of people was asking about, like, roster sizes and players like that. And their home roster size, God, he's got 50 people out there.
Right.
The other team only brought like 20, 25.
It's probably just who they dress.
Right, the travel. Yeah, you're not bringing 20 people just sit there and watch.
No.
But, the field and the stadium is fantastic to do the games from, to broadcast, to watch. In right field, they got a triple deck.
Just sit there, and that's where you were?
3 levels. That's not where we were, but you can come to the game and sit there.
Oh, okay.
So they've got... So the first level is pretty much on top of the right field fence. Mm-hmm. So you're up against the fence. Then there's a deck that goes about 6-7 feet up behind it. It's a big party pad. This is where the beer garden is for their games, because the Far City Owls, so they've got their beer stand up there. They're obviously not selling it. And then it's got a 3rd level. So it's 1, 2. It's a 3-level party. We was talking about the triple decker party pad over there.
There you go.
It's a pretty nice place to watch a game. Like, I don't think there's any bad seats in there. It's just out in the middle of nowhere up the hill, but I like it. Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. It was heartbreaking, wrenching, however you want to put it.
Right.
Just. Well, and I knew the announcer beside me, not Tanner, but the PA guy jinxed him. About 5 innings in, he goes, "This is a different team we saw yesterday."
Ooh.
I was like, and I looked at Tanner, I was like, "Man, they're playing good. But he might have just got them."
I don't know if he's listening, but he pulled a Tim Johnson on us, did he? Did he?
Tim.
Oh man,
they're gonna win by 10.
Yeah, I thought so.
No,
man, I saw Coach Fry the next day too. And was
Did you tell him that?
No, I didn't tell him that. But I was talking to him a little bit.
I didn't know. He told him, well, Tim said y'all gonna win by 10.
I saw him the next day at the gym. Oof, it's tough. But for the baseball wise, you want to know why it's so hard though? Probably it's because Gene's a friend of the show, and we want Gene and them to have good success in his first season. That's what's tougher to hear about it. But but at the same time, it is your first year. So.
Well, I feel bad about Gene, not only just first year, but like because it is his first year, he's got so much stuff to do. Like, I feel like I want to talk to him, ask him questions, interview him, but then I'm like, he's got to worry about so much stuff right now. He's delegating like so much
and not
stuff.
only that, it's still with COVID regulations that they have to deal with.
Yeah. So we we had to wait for the team to get out of the dugout so we could go in and not their team, the other team, so we can go in and plug our power outlet in. All right, football. Josh Gordon hauls in a Hail Mary to win a football game.
He does. Fan-controlled football, baby. Have you seen like a picture or like a video of fan-controlled football?
No, I bet.
Dude, it's like arena football. Just there's only like 3 linemen.
Arena football is awesome.
It's like honest to God, looks like 7v7. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
You might have your center and the two guards, and then other than that, you'll have maybe 3 guys on the defensive line for the other team, and the rest are just wide receivers and DBs.
Well, that's where Kurt Warner honed his skills.
Yeah. See, look at it. It looks just like arena football.
It is arena football. That's indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Why has everybody got the same uniform on?
Well,
how do you tell the 2 teams apart? They're all wearing black.
They're all got those like futuristic neon colors on them and whatnot. And
they're all wearing leotards.
It's
They're black and they're.
But I I saw that video because I saw that clip. I was like, why is he trending right now on Twitter? And that was why. And I was like, wow, would you look at this? It's like professional 7v7, sort of. I mean,
all right.
we'll see it maybe last
Would you
for
want to
another
touch
few
on
weeks.
the NFL this week?
Apparently,
The tag is tomorrow, so I guess
the
we'll know
tag,
like Wednesday.
the tag
maybe.
is very close. And that's what I was just saying when I said apparently the Dak Prescott thing is not as close as people think, and he's probably just going to end up getting franchise tagged again this year.
Probably.
Which I'm not surprised.
I would let him go.
I would too, but here's the thing.
I'm not paying any quarterback $30 million.
I think if they do tag him, he's going to walk himself next year because he's going to be tired of it.
That's why I'm saying, like, what's the point of tagging him if you're not willing to? Next year he's going to want a 5-year deal.
Well, I don't understand why are you tagging him this year and you're sitting there at the 10 spot. You think he's
And
got,
Andy
you
Dalton
think,
on your roster.
Well, not just that. Well, if you wanted to draft one there at 10, you could. I'm just saying, you think him starting next year, y'all going to be picking 10th? I don't think so. I think if anything, it at least gives you another 2 or 3 wins.
They might be picking 5th.
Well,
Hey, think about it, Hunter, real quick. Like I tried to tell Matt the other day, everybody's hating on Andy Dalton. What was Dak's record when he broke his ankle? It was 1-3. And that
Right.
one win was which game?
the Falcons blunder.
Yes. So Dak should have been 0-4. So, like, I don't know what playoffs they thought they were going to make with him there because he was 0-4 before that. And then they hate on Andy Dalton and blame the backup.
I believe it'll work better the second year with McCarthy there and Dak.
I think it had a lot to
understanding
do with the 28th defense and the your fat first
Oh
round
my
running
God.
back.
Zeke just.
Does that not have anything to do with
Zeke
it?
getting $15 million.
Our
for that
defense is
too.
giving up 30 a game, not our defense. Cowboys defense is giving up 30 a game, and your running back is fat. So you tell me it's Andy Dalton's fault.
I think the defense will definitely be bolstered. I think that they go either. Hey,
I don't. Jerry ain't bolstering that defense.
What
He
at
never
10?
bolstered it.
I don't. You think he don't take maybe Caleb Farley or Surtain at 10?
No. He can't sell Caleb Farley jerseys, Hunter. You know he's picking quarterback, one of those wide receivers, Kyle Pitts. Jerry is splashing.
Damn, Kyle Pitts is so
He's
good. Dude.
splashing.
I've seen so many people say Kyle Pitts might be one of the best, like how they were saying Chase Young was last year. He might be the best non-quarterback in the draft.
Take the best football player.
Jeez, he is a stud. Have you ever watched him play out of Florida?
I know I haven't, but I don't mind anybody taking someone
Right.
who's best at their position.
That's why I
Every
was
year.
fine with Washington.
Take the number
do it.
one guy.
Like
at their
I
position.
wasn't sold on Tua. I still had questions about Herbert. Obviously, he seems to have worked out. So to me, I was like, you know what? Take the proclaimed future Hall of Famer. Like, why would you not? LT's
right.
sitting there at 2. Do you not take him?
Just in fantasy football, in the last 10 to 20 years almost, whoever had Gronk or Antonio Gates or Tony Gonzalez seemed to be.
I had Travis Kelce this year.
Now it's Kelsey. Those 4 tight ends, we talk running backs all these years, but I bet if you went and studied the history of those teams, somebody with one of those 4 tight ends was almost in every championship game
And now
in every
it's-
league.
And obviously, with the way the game's going, wide receivers are going early too, man. If we're talking straight fantasy, that's just the game now. They're throwing the ball all over the yard. But I'm telling you, Kyle Pitts, he's built like a wide receiver.
Right.
He is.
The point I was making is that if you can get the
Right.
number one or best guy in
I
a certain
think Kyle Pitts,
situation
to
do
me,
that,
Kyle Pitts could be one of these tight ends that's in the league that we talk about, like George Kittle,
Okay.
Gronk, and Travis Kelce. He's more athletic than all 3 of them, and that's not a shot at him because of his color. No, straight up, he just Travis Kelce is very athletic. This man is like, he looks like a Calvin Johnson type build at a
I
tight
wish
end
the
position
Panthers would have worked Peppers more.
to catch the ball.
Right. Or in the end zone, yeah.
They had a
around
few
the red zone.
packages for him, but they didn't do it much.
The ones that were funny is when they put him out there at wide out, and you had a DB guarding him, and he just blew him off the ball.
Like, who can I think of? So we talk about today how DK Metcalf is a freak because of his size and the speed that he runs. And Kyle Pitts can be that way for a tight end because he's built like DK Metcalf. He really is. Blocking wise, I mean, I don't really know. But then again, Jimmy Graham made a lot of money down in New Orleans not blocking nobody and catching footballs. So
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. But I did bring up a name that I'm really intrigued to see. I want to see how many people keep talking about Caleb Farley going in the top 10. You love to see it for a local kid.
This one's got 7, 10,
Mm-hmm.
and good God, 16.
Oof, well, who had him going 16? Who is 16? Who is that?
That's Arizona at 16.
Well, now, that poses this question for me. If Arizona goes a young cornerback, are they done with Patrick Peterson? Because they thought about trading him a year or two
I
ago.
thought he did get cut already.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I thought they just did something with Patrick Peterson.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, I have the handy-dandy interweb. I can
I
find
could
things
swear
out.
something just happened with him.
Because I know they were talking about possibly trading him last year.
He got cut or something.
Patrick Peterson.
Or asked for a trade. There was something last few days. And I remember.
I mean, 6 hours ago, Patrick Peterson landing spots, Buccaneers, Chiefs could overtake the Cardinals in 2021 free agency. I think he's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
That's what he is. I think so. If that shows them taking Caleb Farley at 16, then they must be guessing that he's not going to re-sign with them, with the Cardinals. Now, that's for somebody that has to take a chance on a 10-year cornerback. At one time, to me, I thought was one of the top 2 or 3 best cornerbacks in football.
Yeah,
but,
he's a free agent. It looks like.
Man, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'd love to have him in Washington.
Well, name 15 teams on here. Y'all are one of them, so is the Browns. So, but if you name 15 teams, it's everybody.
Right. It's almost over half the league.
15 that where he might land.
Now, I'll say this. His running mate that he was running around with, Tyrann Mathieu, is in Kansas City.
But does Farley fall to 16? I know I'm sure they would like that.
Well, now I'm not. I don't know if you necessarily say you move up to take a corner. You don't do that. But does he fall? I mean, if Jerry and the Broncos really don't want defense and the Lions aren't looking to go defense, because look at the teams right there. Outside of maybe Atlanta really needing a defensive player, everybody else is probably going to go wide receiver or some sort of offensive threat.
So they got Jerry picking 3 different defenders, and Caleb's one of them. Surtain, Parsons, and Caleb Farley.
Are they all DBs?
Surtain is.
Yeah.
Parsons is a linebacker from Penn State.
Okay.
Pitts in.
I see one that says he's going to Carolina right there.
I got him 4th, 8th, and 9th. So they don't have him getting to Dallas at 10. If I'm the Cowboys, I want Kyle Pitts. Plain and simple, I want him.
Mm-hmm. Best player.
If I'm picking for them, you're paying a shit ton of money to a wide receiver and a running back and maybe a quarterback. What's up? All right. And maybe a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You got to save some money somewhere.
Tight end position.
Why not a tight end position? And you can get a good one at cheap. And Hunter, they don't have nobody there.
No.
Like
they were talking about, we got this young guy we brought in, and I'm like, yeah, but there's a difference between the best tight end in this draft and some young guy we brought in.
Like what we were talking about in fantasy. There's a difference between Gronk and Kelsey. There's like 3 every year. There's 3 nasty tight ends, 10 good ones, and then everyone else is average or below average.
They do the job.
Right.
Most of the time it's blocking.
Right
They're
now,
not,
now the Cowboys guys are in the bottom tier of that.
compared to what Kyle Pitts can
Right.
be. God almighty, he's an athletic freak.
So Lawrence top, Zach Wilson across at 2. No, everybody's just. I guess that's.
Well, that is because
You know what's weird? This is what's weird and aggravating. Is whatever people would do their mocks. So I'll look at this and I'll be like, "Well, Hunter, do a mock draft. Would you look at another mock draft and do yours off that, or would you
6'6", 240.
Who is
Pitts.
Oh, or do you listen to whatever McShay says?
You don't listen to what
I
Tom
would
McShay and Mel
never
Kiper.
listen to what Kiper had to say.
No.
I'm still waiting for him to retire.
I'll tell you what, there's a guy.
You said you were retiring, Kiper, when you did the Jimmy Clausen bullcrap.
I think
here you
everybody
are,
still is.
still slicking your hair back, making all that money. Jimmy fucking Clausen.
Oh, I know what his name is. Isn't this? This is the guy I would listen to. I think it's David Jeremiah. No, not David Jeremiah. What is his name? Anyways, he does it with Bucky Brooks. They do draft breakdowns a lot. I think it's.
I'm not a fan of Bucky.
Well, might not be Bucky.
You know he's a Tar Heel.
Bucky?
Yeah.
I had no idea he was a
He
Bucky.
said he tweeted yesterday out to Woody Durham, something about Woody Durham.
Yeah. Huh. I did not know that. Who is this guy? Because he's always got the guy that Bucky does it with. Always has. And I thought you would know him. Know who I'm talking about is Daniel Jeremiah. Okay, so I was right. He just wasn't popping up. He's always got Appalachian State helmets behind him when he's talking.
Okay.
I don't know if he's an App State grad or not. We'll get ready to find out about that. Education. No, it doesn't. Wait. I might be wrong. If I can open this up, where it says Wikipedia.
That's why I'm not a fan of him.
Gotcha.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
The next time he says something good about a quarterback, Hunter, will be the first time.
Well, Daniel, yeah, I figured you'd like him. Let's see. Yeah, he went to Appalachian State. Daniel Jeremiah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I guess he was a starting quarterback at some point.
Most of those folks are pretty good people, except the guy that cut me off coming back from Far City yesterday in the App State tag. He got cussed.
Yeah, former NFL. Yeah. And he's a former NFL scout. I like a lot of stuff that Daniel talks about. I wouldn't listen to Kuiper. McShay, maybe. I think McShay's got a little bit more sense to him. But I know you're sitting there saying most people are consensus with Zach Wilson. I've seen it across the board, and because general manager of the Jets basically said, we're taking phone calls on Sam Darnold now. So
why wouldn't, and this is me being a non-college fan, why is Justin Fields not above either one of those two?
I don't know.
It's not like he's smaller. This ain't like Tua saying he's small and he can't throw.
I think I was reading.
Big dude.
So Saturday, how I was like enamored with like this new Twitter page that I had found. It was like the draft Express or something like that. And I was reading what they were talking about for the quarterbacks that they liked, or the Draft Network. That's what it was. And they had a page. Obviously, you go through, click wide receivers, quarterbacks, yada, yada. And I clicked on quarterbacks, and a lot of them say Fields might be the most accurate passer in the draft.
Oh, really?
And he might be the most athletic outside of Trey Lance, just because of what Trey Lance brings physically. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and built. But they said Justin Fields could be the most athletic, or I'm sorry, not the most athletic, the most accurate passer. So I don't understand why Zach Wilson jumped him so much. Zach Wilson also did not play. It might be to your credit, Kevin, the Ohio State thing, how Dwayne didn't just work out, and how some people were talking about Joe Burrow saying, well, he had all sorts of talent around him. Justin Fields has all sorts of talent around him. You can't really tell. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of these teams are talking themselves out of Justin Fields, and I don't understand it. I was saying going into this draft, I thought Justin Fields was going to make a real run at Trevor Lawrence for who was going to be the number one overall pick. As we can see, that's not the case, but there's no way I'm thinking there's a guy above him.
So this CBS one has 4 quarterbacks in the top 8.
Yeah.
5 in the top 12.
I could see 5 in the top 10.
Every team picking into the teens trying to make the playoffs right now is like, yes.
Yeah.
Like if you're outside the playoffs right now, just outside, and you're going to pick 5 quarterbacks in front of me,
who's the last quarterback they said going in the top 12? Probably Mac Jones. Or they got Trey Lance going after
They got
Mac
Jones 8 to the Panthers.
They'd much rather have Trey Lance.
Here's the ones to the Panthers:
Jones.
Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Kyle Pitts. Actually, the Trey Lance is a trade from Houston up to Carolina.
That's because Houston. They're saying there that Carolina probably traded that pick for Deshaun Watson.
They want it back or whatever. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking they're doing with that. Is that the Houston trade is there?
That's getting a little deep on it. I wouldn't pick Devontae Smith for nothing.
He's as big as my finger.
This is the NFL.
Listen,
how many really skinny guys you know?
Not just that. The Oakland Raiders last year, the first wide receiver taken off the board was Henry Ruggs III because he ran a 4.3 1 at the combine, and he really hardly any. And they say he's just not a great route runner.
They got Devontae Smith.
I'm like,
well,
you just got great speed. I've heard a lot of people say Devontae Smith, like the scouts, that he's a great route runner though, which probably will help. But I don't. To me, Jamar Chase is still the best wide receiver in the draft coming out of LSU. He would have been probably one of the best wide receivers in last year's draft, too, if he wasn't just a sophomore. So I think he's the most polished. Devontae Smith, I think he'll go somewhere. I don't know how I feel about people still taking wide receivers in the top 5 picks. Maybe in the top 10 after 5, but your top 5 picks, really? I don't know. I guess it's just how the NFL has changed, and the quarterback wide receiver dynamic has to be so big now because it's a passing league.
What you're saying, but if you already have your quarterback,
and
you
just get him a weapon,
you're in Atlanta, sitting at 4. How attractive are those wide receivers / Kyle Pitts?
I think. Well, they brought in Hayden Hurst. That's the last name I think.
Think about this strategy. See what you think. Kind of tied in what you're about to say. Let me get it on you. If I'm Atlanta, I pick Pitts or the best wide receiver, and then all my other draft picks are defenders.
You could do that. Or you could get the best defensive player in the draft at 4. It's either one. It's just preference, really, at that point. You know, you look at it. They brought in Hayden Hurst as the tight end. They got him for Baltimore. He was there last year with Atlanta. He's decent. So if you wanted to go with Kyle Pitts right there, you could. Just gives you another weapon that's huge. It's like 6'5", 6'6", along with Julio. Calvin Ridley is not a bad wide receiver. You don't have bad wide receivers at all if you're Atlanta sitting there at 4, to me. But Atlanta being there at 4, and maybe, well, no, I don't think Cincinnati at 5 takes a defensive player. I'm just sitting here thinking, who in the top 5 is going to take a defensive player? The best defensive player possible. And I just don't think that anybody does outside of the possibility of Atlanta or a team moving up and getting either the Jets or Miami's pick at 2 and 3. And even then, I don't think that happens either. So if you're the Falcons, another weapon on offense to go with Matt Ryan and all the plethora of receivers you have and this new offensive-minded head coach you have in, sure, I mean, you can do it. Why not? Why not? The more the merrier. But, again, we're going to look at it and say, you added this offensive piece. If it doesn't work this year, then what the hell is the problem? I've been saying this for years. Matt Ryan, yes, he had an MVP season in 2016. Great. Kyle Shanahan was there as the offensive coordinator, was calling your play calling. Since then, that offense has looked like shit. It has. The offense has not been as good as it gets. And somehow last year it started to pop towards the end of the season. So if you take Kyle Pitts there, great. But if it doesn't work, that's another opportunity for all of us to look and say, well, why doesn't all this offensive talent work in Atlanta?
You don't look at. They already got decent wide receivers, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you'd probably
Calvin
think
Ridley,
tight end.
Julio Jones. I mean, they got now
Tight end, left tackle.
to
or
me.
stud lineman.
I was talking about. I'm looking at that top 5. Because I don't think Cincinnati does it. That 4 spot, unless someone trades up with Miami, is the only one I could see someone going the best defensive player.
Yeah, everybody's got Sewell at 5 to Cincy.
And that's just to protect Joe Burrow so he doesn't get sacked. He was on record pace for like being sacked 60 times last year.
So who's the best defensive player in the draft? I'm looking at this.
I'm looking at a lot of people saying it's probably a cornerback.
Hunter. All right, I'm looking at 3 drafts. The top defender in each one, this is CBS, 2 out of 3 are corners, and Surtain, the other one's Micah Parsons. No, Caleb Farley was higher in the first one. So Farley, Surtain, and Micah Parsons. Are any of those, like what you just said, are any of those trade upable for? Or do you just sit there and let these fools pick all the quarterbacks? And
To be honest, I'd let them. If you are a general manager and you look around and say you do look at some draft big boards, some people do, and
how many times have we looked at Hunter? This is amazing. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's no defenders in the top 15 on this stuff.
The offensive players.
Holy crap. Kwity Paye, a senior from Michigan, is the top defensive lineman listed. You ever heard of him?
No. But
Azeez Ojulari from Georgia, sophomore.
he's a defensive lineman, isn't he?
It says linebacker.
Outside linebacker?
Ojulari. Am I saying any close to being right?
Maybe. He might be getting close.
J.C. Horn's the next one, and then a Christian Barmore, a defensive lineman. So there's 3 corners in the top 5 defenders. Then Jalen Phillips. There's not a single. I still have yet to see a defensive end, and those are almost always top 5 picks.
Maybe this just isn't a defensive end year.
The first edge rusher I see is going 22nd, Jason Owe to the Titans.
Well, they need it.
That's the first. I see a Xavion Collins. Here's one 18th from Tulsa, linebacker. It's got Miami picking defenders across the board.
God, they aren't high on that kid out of Miami? Defensive edge that's coming out?
No. There's nothing on there. Edge rushers, Jason Owa from Penn State, Joe Trine from Washington, Christian Barmore is a defensive lineman from Alabama. There is not one thing on here that says defensive end in the top first round. Not one defensive end. There was 2 that said edge rushers, but not one said defensive end on the whole list. And that's almost every draft we ever have. There's 2 edge guys, Basham, Rosu, Trine. They got 3 different people listed to Cleveland in the late round. And that's in Jason Owe.
Well,
But like
Here's
no Chase Young,
well,
no
then
Julius
look
Peppers.
at it this way. I mean, then you guys are getting probably one of the better defensive edges
Damn
in the
right.
draft because nobody else is going to take them. They're following right there. Now, granted, does
the
that
Browns
mean,
need more?
do they need more?
We need
You know
DBs.
what I've heard?
We need DBs.
I've heard that you're retaining Odell Beckham.
Sweet.
You're going to keep him.
Sweet.
But I figured y'all would try and trade him for draft capital or a defensive player.
I'd trade him. You know what? I'd trade call Dallas. They'd do that for the 10th.
Do you know what Adam Schefter reported earlier?
No.
Tom Brady wants to play with Odell Beckham.
Fuck. All right, trade us what?
I don't know. But they're franchise tagging Godwin.
Yeah, he ain't playing with Odell Beckham. They're paying everybody too much money.
I don't know. I listen.
We're gonna
Now
think-
he is restructuring his contract. Tom Brady is, but
they're going to trade Antonio Brown for him. Like, where are they going to put him?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
That's stupid.
I don't know. But they're just trying to. Hey, they're right now. Tampa Bay is playing what the LA Rams have done for years, and saying we're just going to go out there and acquire talent, just trade some more, or sign free agents that want to come play with us.
All right, I meant to bring this up Saturday because Terry and JP's here. And I'm going to bring it up this Saturday if you remind me. But I want to go ahead, since you brought up Brady, your favorite announcer is Colin Coward. I'm here to talk about aliens, Hunter.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I am here to discuss the alien presence that Baker Mayfield saw in Cleveland. I don't know where he was,
I don't know.
but Baker Mayfield saw it. And without missing a beat, Colin Coward, I
The
want
next
my
day-
quarterbacks not to see aliens.
I know, and then you know, Tom Brady had
Brady
to
with the
tweet at him.
best tweet of all time, maybe.
Yeah.
How do you know I haven't seen aliens, Colin?
Yeah. Colin today on
awesome.
he does a segment on
Did
Mondays.
you see Baker's response real quick
I didn't.
to Tom's? He said, "You've probably seen a lot of them at your age."
That's great. That's great. But Colin today on his Colin, he does that Monday segment. Colin was right. Colin was wrong. He said, "You know what? I was wrong. I mean, I guess Tom Brady, you know, I mean, he eats avocado ice cream and all this stuff." He said he hasn't just seen aliens. He might be an alien.
There you go.
He might
There
be
you
an
go.
alien.
Now he's getting closer.
Tom Brady might be an alien.
He was on the original Monstars. People just don't know that. He was that little bitty pink guy that
Oh,
turned into
my, yeah.
Sean Bradley.
Jeez. That was Tom, huh?
I want to bring out. I'm going to read the whole story Saturday for Terry just to have his face on camera. Me reading about Baker
he's
Mayfield
gonna sit there and boil the whole time.
and seeing the aliens.
Jeez.
I will say this: I have seen something questionable before. I don't know what it was or if it's aliens or something.
I don't think I've ever seen anything questionable.
So I was in Florida. My senior year, my senior trip from parents where we went to Florida, Disney World, played golf, all this other stuff. But anyway, so we're in Florida and we're staying at this resort. It's it's basically your own apartment condo, you know. So it's late at night, 11 o'clock, sitting outside. You know, in Florida, the skies couldn't be any clearer at night. You can see forever, and I'm watching what I think are planes flying across the sky and stuff like that. And one of them was going a little faster than the others. It wasn't like extremely fast. It wasn't like, whoa, look at that. It's just going a little faster than the other ones. Now remember, clear night, no clouds or nothing. And it looked like it was kind of low. Like I could definitely tell, hey, that's something. A plane. I didn't even thought it was a plane. It was
Right.
going faster because it was lower. I thought it was just lower. All of a sudden, bright as it could be, though, Hunter, it disappeared. While I was tracking it in the sky. I'm just sitting on the back porch,
It's gone.
drinking a probably pina colada or something,
Right.
watching this light,
Oh, it's gone.
straight disappeared. That's all. That's the end of the story. That's all I have to say. I didn't see anything else weird.
Right.
But this was as clear as could be light, and some bitch disappeared. And planes don't do that. You know, they've got a red light, a yellow light, a
Yeah.
back light, and they're going at slow speed. I'm talking, this was like, zzz. What? It's
Only
almost
thing-
like watching Star Wars when they go to hyperspeed.
Yeah.
You know, they're just sitting there,
It's
and then all of a
there,
sudden
it's
they take
whoosh.
off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like. Was a ship jumping to hyperspeed. That is the only thing I've seen. But I will say that is
the only
what
thing I would say is it could have been a meteor that just all of a sudden disintegrated when it hit the atmosphere.
It could have been anything.
Could have been.
It could have been.
It could have been anything.
It could have been naval. It could have been anything.
Could have been
NASA.
anything.
It could have been any of that.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying was it was weird as shit and it disappeared.
Yeah, it was.
That's
gone.
what I'm saying.
It
I
was
saw
weird.
a light and it disappeared. Now I don't know what all. Let's look up Baker's. He said it came down. Did you read it?
I didn't read what Baker said because I found it hilarious that Colin thought he needed to comment on it the next day.
You know his comment?
Because he always comments about, listen, I don't want my quarterback throwing a backwards hat, all right? I want him a straight forward hat kind of guy, all right?
Almost 100%. Emily and I just saw a UFO drop out of the sky on our way home from dinner. We stopped and looked at each other and asked if either of us saw it. Very bright ball of light going straight down out of the sky towards Lake Travis. Did anybody else witness this?
Now, oh, shit. Oh, never mind. I said I don't know if I had something weird. I had something weird happen to me about 2 months ago. No shit. I had to think about it. I was with my girlfriend, and we were going to a Mexican restaurant in Denver, and I am driving down 16, and I look up, and I say, do you see that? And she goes, what? I said, that! And there's just a beam shooting up into the sky from out of the trees. And I'm like, what is that? And she goes, I don't know, but I see it.
Yeah.
And it's still there as we get closer to the Mexican restaurant. And when we get out and I look up, it's gone. It's gone. And I'm like, what happened? And this is how I knew I wasn't going crazy. A table that was sitting near us, for some reason, must have heard me saying something about it, and they turned around and said, so you saw it too? And I'm sitting here like, yes, I'm not crazy. I saw a beam up in the air, just about nothing.
So someone in the woods
has a huge spotlight because that thing was huge. All right, that shit was huge, man. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, it's not Halloween.
Yeah.
It's not like, I think we're just outside of Christmas, January time, so there's no like big lights
Have you ever
going
heard
off.
of the Battle of Los Angeles?
You ever seen that movie?
No. I'm talking about the actual story of the Battle of Los
No,
Angeles.
I was like, have you seen that movie? That movie's badass.
So, in the Battle of Los Angeles, I'm going to try to be as accurate as I can here. Not 2011, 1942.
That's the movie, Battle of Los Angeles.
All right, so I'm going to read the Wikipedia quick version of it. The Battle of L.A. was also known as the Great Los Angeles Air Raid. Is the name given by contemporary sources to a rumored attack on mainland United States by Imperial Japan and subsequent anti-aircraft artillery barrage, which took place in 1942 over Los Angeles. The incident occurred less than 3 months after World War II. U.S. entered World War II. Initially, the target of the air was thought to be an attack force from Japan, but speaking at a press conference shortly after, they called the purported attack a false alarm. Now, here's the thing about the attack, Hunter. Pictures were made. Spotlights were on what they were shooting at. Everyone in Los Angeles saw this. Does that look like you, sir?
This looks like an unidentified flying object.
That's a good way to put that, right?
Yeah.
Battle of Los Angeles. Look it up. Look, there's some good documentaries and stuff on the people there. Got
the guy probably that says aliens.
There's people sitting there shooting actual we were shooting at this and it disappeared. We have no idea what happened. And then, but yeah, that's from the History Channel's picture. By the way, look, History Channel. So you're right. That guy's gonna be there.
Yeah, probably.
Georgia Sakalukas.
Whatever his name is.
But look, I mean, Hunter.
There are pictures everywhere.
Is that kind of what you were saying? Except
no, like when I tell you,
was it straight up or was it an angle?
No, it was straight up.
Straight up, okay.
Because, see, that's what I was weird about. It was like, when you usually see maybe someone's got a big spotlight, it's moving around, like maybe moving back and forth, like a Batman symbol.
A lot of car dealerships will do that.
Yeah, no, the thing was straight up.
Okay.
I was like, what is happening? And the fact that it was gone when I got out of my vehicle, it's like it knew I saw it.
They could have been calling the aliens. Light is the fastest way to travel.
Jeez. You ever seen you ever get told as a kid, you ever had the they had the red laser pointers, but you ever get the green laser pointers and they tell you, don't you point those up in the air.
Hot.
And don't point those up towards that. Airplanes, they can see them. And that's what I was told all the time. Now, someone could have been, just jerking my legs just so I wouldn't do that, but I was told, don't you do that with those green lasers. They shoot up so high that the airplane can see them.
I had a friend in medical school who, I don't know how they acquired it or if it was even medical, acquired a laser that I've never seen anything like it. I've shot, I've pressed the button, and put it this way, Hunter, if you shot a laser directly straight up into the sky, do you think it looked like it dissipated at some point, right?
It would look like it, yeah.
This one looked like you could put it on the moon.
It just kept going.
Yes.
Was it blue?
It might have been green.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I've never seen, like, when you press this button at night, it shoots for hundreds and hundreds of, like, feet or yards or miles or whatever you want to think. Like, it is, I've never seen anything like, I could sit across the football stadium and I have this thing.
Yeah.
Like, like a lot of times you see a laser pointer, you see the dot, and that's it. You saw the line.
You saw the beam.
Like, it looked like I had a 500-foot laser lightsaber, and I'm just cutting shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what brand, how he made it, where he got it. I'll just never forget pressing that button and that thing shooting like that. In fact, I hit a guy in the face one time with it, messing around with it. He was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, I really didn't mean to.
All right. You just couldn't. You just blind me.
I've never seen, that was, I honestly thought, I was like, if I, as a civilian,
can have one of these.
this,
yeah,
I can only imagine what they actually had, what real lasers and stuff are looking like. So as far as military grade, like, that's insane. Like, I felt I shouldn't have that.
I have too much power.
Like, it's almost
now.
like a gun that's illegal or something.
Yeah,
like, I felt like I had an illegal gun. Or
like,
something.
how did I have this right now in my hand?
Yeah, I wasn't comfortable with that. All right, Hunter, you got your Tar Heel shirt on today. Do you have any comments on the
shellacking and the
on
sweep
any of that?
Of the Duke of Blue Devils? Hey, get used to it. No, I didn't have anything to say on the game.
Here's what's funny: you want to get rid of all the quarterbacks. I want to get rid of all the 70-year-old coaches.
I don't care. I'm fine with getting rid of Coach K and Roy Smith and Roy Williams. I'm not putting together Roy and Dean Smith. Roy Williams, Roy Smith. Really, that's what he is. He's little Dean Smith running that offense. I'm fine with getting rid of all of them.
Okay,
but will it happen? I don't know. Maybe not. Not this year, definitely. Coach K is not going to just have one losing season like this and then retire. At least I don't think so. Now, I'm not going to put anything past him.
In the past 13 NBA seasons, the Tar Heels have had the same number of All-Stars as the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
None. Big, fat, whopping 0.
So, I know I'm only like 10 years older or 15 close, but again, like, that was one of the things growing up as far as Carolina is like, I knew when I saw this kid, when he went to pro or he left, it wasn't that big of a deal because I'm going to get to see him play in the pros. He's going to go do good. He's going to compete. He's going to make All-Stars.
I'm looking at this Carolina roster right now, and
there's not even a player on the team.
Maybe
much less an All-Stars. There isn't even a player on the team.
Caleb Love, if he gets his game together, can play at the next level. Okay. But Carolina usually produces pretty good guards. Guard play, they actually succeed pretty well at the next level.
Speaking of Appalachian, they played tonight against Georgia State.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't see how many Delph's averaging. That's another thing. Like, Delph and Sage should have been Carolina's point guard and shooting guard.
Yeah, they've been pretty dang good.
Sage Surratt should have been the shooting guard. Let's see if they got stats on the Mountaineers. 4th in the SoCon. Delph's 12.9 a game.
There you go.
The leading scorer is 13 a game.
So he's just right there.
He's 0.1 behind him. He's a local kid, folks. Pretty good. Really good hands left and right. I just think, on a team like, say, Carolina or Duke with the spotlight, people would just they'd be talking about him being so good with his hands. Like, just doing left-handed layups, by yourself isn't totally hard. But the way he does them in traffic and stuff is just insane to me. Like, that, it's spectacular. I told him when he was in sophomore, Hunter, I said, good luck, you're pretty good. I think I'll be watching in college someday.
Yeah.
And he just said, thank you, sir. He doesn't talk much, but I can't say enough about him. Let's see if his 3-point shooting, 37% from 3, 83 at the free throw line.
Listen, kids play in college and basketball and baseball have one thing in common. You can get great players from small colleges.
He's playing the most minutes on the team. 6'3", 185.
That's Steph Curry.
We're not being able to shoot.
No, I'm just saying
He's not that.
size-wise. I'm saying size-wise. That's a comp.
He's more of a. I'm trying to compare.
I think
point
Damian Lillard's
guards.
about the same size, too. Might be a
Yeah.
little thicker.
Let me look
Height-wise, they're going to be close.
NBA. I'm trying to think of a comp player-wise because he's not a shooter. It's almost like he's a playmaker, but he can dunk. So how many point guards are? It's almost like a Russell Westbrook, but he's not. You see what I mean? Like he's 6'3".
Well, that's his play style.
Honestly, that's as
He's
close.
He's not a 3-point shooter.
That's as close as I could put it. But he don't dunk like Russell Westbrook. But he dunks good.
Mm-hmm.
He dunks good. Windmill lefties, and he's a righty. He can windmill. So I'd say close to Westbrook type of style.
It's tough
it's
when
a
you
longer
say that
shot.
because people will be like, "Oh,
Hey, he's a
Russell
he's the
Westbrook."
MVP.
I'm like,
All right.
"Wait a minute now."
But how many point guards aren't just firing threes right now?
None.
Is what I'm trying.
There's not.
How many are athletic?
And how many of them get drafted that don't shoot threes? None. That's what's tough. That's not today's
I'm trying to
basketball.
think. Maybe and I haven't seen enough of him. What about that kid in Cleveland? Is it
Colin Sexton?
Like, is he athletic? Drives to the
He's
basket, not firing
he's
threes?
good. He's good at driving to the lane.
That's
He
what I'm
might
talking
still have a
about.
3-point shot, but even 37% from the 3-point line, even at the college level, that's not bad.
No.
You're almost in the 40s. Like, come
No.
on now.
De'Aaron Fox type, not
Now,
that
De'Aaron
fast.
Fox, he's got a second gear to him, but he drives the lane a whole lot too.
I ain't gonna say this name, but
You gonna say John Wall?
no, LaMelo.
Oh,
Wall is more explosive.
but that's Wall's game. He drives the lane. He's not a 3-point shooter.
I'll say this: Wall's closer probably than Westbrook.
That's fine.
I'm still.
I mean, that's my guy.
right.
But like,
Wall's probably closer to Westbrook. I haven't seen Alexander Gilgeous play enough to compare
oh,
that.
Damn, he's fun, dude. He's got the three. He can score
I'll say this
close,
way.
mid range, and 3-point shot, and he's like 6'6".
LaMelo's finishing at the rim off the glass is a little bit of Delfish. He shoots better than LaMelo. I don't know if he shoots as far as shot, but it looks 10 times better.
It looks better.
Yeah,
He's got better fundamentals.
he's got a real basketball shot. It's a tough comparison. Like John Wall might be closest, just in the style. Obviously. Golly, just either most point guards are either fast and quick and
Right.
move the ball like Ty Lawson, or shoot threes like Dame Lillard and them, and he's
neither. He's in between.
he's Westbrook and Wall.
Yeah, he's in the middle. Yeah.
All right, there's our. Anything else in the NBA or anything else you want to talk about? Dave Hunter, that we
nothing.
missed?
I mean, it's still just spring training in baseball. Not quite there yet for starting. Blake Griffin signed with the Nets. I don't know how much that helps.
Is
or
that
hurts
true
them.
or is that a joke? I saw somebody say he hadn't
No.
dunked since 2019.
Oh, I don't know about that, but no, it's true. He signed with them.
Somebody said he hadn't dunked since 2019. Watch him come out here in first game and just start catching oops off from Kyrie.
Maybe. But needless to say, I don't know how much that helps or hurts them. NFL wise, draft is right around the corner. I cannot wait. We're about to start getting more and more information. I'll be deep diving more into this Draft Express Twitter site that I found, and I'm about to just ooze out draft information.
Showed Andre a picture of Otto Porter today and Wilt Chamberlain.
They look like that might be Wilt's long lost son.
Did I show you the Anthony Edwards or Jimmy Butlers and Jordan?
No.
Oh, these are good. Here is this is Jimmy Butler.
Oh God.
Now, this one, I swear I think Anthony Edwards is. They don't know who his dad is.
Uh-huh. Oh God, Michael. The hell you been
6'5", dunks
Explosive.
like that in traffic.
doing? Explosive.
Look at that smile.
That's
Have you ever heard
pretty
him
close.
talk?
He sounds
He sounds
close.
like Michael. Not saying anything. But Otto Porter Jr. looks like damn Wilt Chamberlain. He slept with 20,000 women. I will say that.
Michael, you got
I don't know about
explaining to do.
I don't know about Michael's sex life. But that was funny. It was one of the things people, if you wonder what we're talking
Yeah.
about, is people online are going online and trying to guess which NBA players dad really played in the league. It is fucked up as can be. I'm gonna put it that way. But some of the guys do look like him. Otto Porter Jr. looks just like Wilt Chamberlain, and like I said, he claimed 20,000 encounters.
Jeez.
And he's even said before in his encounter, he said, "quote I think it was this. There are probably some children that I have that I do not know about." He was 100%. Yeah, probably.
Well,
some of these guys ought to be asking for some tests. What if you go in the doctor? You think you would know? Yo, doc, can I get the Wilt Chamberlain test today?
he'd be like, all right, son, that's fine. Oh, man.
What's bad is if you're one of Jordan's kids. Like, Chamberlain wasn't that rich. He was rich. What if you're one of Jordan's kids and lived in poverty?
Mm-hmm.
How much does he owe
That'd be
you?
tough. Oof, that'd be tough. That'd be a tough conversation.
How much does he owe you? All right, Hunter. Anything
No,
else come across the board of your news while we were
nothing.
talking?
I've checked. There's nothing crazy that's come across the board.
It seems like there was something else that I wanted to touch on today. There was Space Jam was definitely one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the Yetis. And there was something funny. Are you gonna be here Wednesday?
I won't.
about
I
that.
got
We'll
the
talk about that.
seminar.
All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and call it a day for today, and we'll pick up whatever the rest of the week. May do Thursday. Talk to Hunter about that, and we'll see you guys next time on the Shock Jocks. I want to thank everybody for viewing and watching today. KTC Broadcasting. Is high school football being televised? Someone just asked. Not by us. If you're still watching, they won't let us.
Yeah.
So it's not by us. We've had a few people ask, Hunter.
That's not us.
And guess what?
Not us.
I had a guy come in today complaining. I'm like,
Sorry.
call the superintendent.
Not us.
Shock Jocks, Playmakers is playing right now. Seeing everybody goodbye. We'll see you next time. We'll probably know more about Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, some more football players Thursday and Saturday. We'll talk more sports coming up this week. Thanks for tuning in to Shock Jocks Podcast. I'm Kevin Hastings with Hunter Yancey on KTCBroadcasting.com.